Hey y'all, today I'm gonna rate survivors because this dude said that it would be a good idea. So yeah, let's get into it. Noob used to be the first and only starting survivor. Now there's Shedletsky and Elliot on top of him, but Noob is still considered the starter character instead of my opinion. Noob is a survivalist type survivor, meaning they were made to help you survive, not your teammates, but they could still be repurposed to help your teammates. An example is to body block using slate skin, and just doing generators brings down the timer to help your teammates. Now I'll just explain all his abilities and his passive abilities. One of his abilities is Bloxy Cola, giving him speed 1 for 10 seconds, and it has a cooldown of 50 seconds. Also, while you're drinking, your speed is reduced by 10% and you also can't sprint. Another ability is Slate Skin, giving you Slate Skin 2 after drinking. Slate Skin 2 makes you slower, but it also gives you 75 extra temporary HP. And speed 2 for 2 seconds after. What if the killer takes down all the extra health before 6 seconds? Or if you use the ability again before the 6 seconds are over, you only get speed 1 for 2 seconds. And Slate Skin has a 55-second cooldown. The last one is Ghost Burger. He gets Undetectable 1 and Invisibility 5 for 10 seconds. He's also slowed down by 40% and also can't sprint while he's eating the Ghost Burger. He has 100 max health, 12 regular and 26 sprinting speed, 100 max stamina, 10 stamina loss, and 20 gain per second. So I'm gonna rate him 7 out of 10. Elliot is another one of the starter characters, and he's support. He's also oftentimes considered the best support inside the game. He has 2 abilities, one of which is Throw Pizza. The pizza heals 35 health, 15 inside of one big chunk, and then 20 over 3.5 seconds. It's a cooldown of 45 seconds and also regenerates Rush Hour. Rush Hour gives you speed 3 for 3 seconds. You can only store 1 charge. 40-second cooldown. Now for his passives. Oil Up heals an extra 5% HP per generator completed. Deliverer's Resolve. Every time somebody takes damage, they are highlighted to Elliot for 12 seconds. Also, Elliots can't heal themselves, and other Elliots only get 50% of the usual HP that they would get from the pizza. Pizzas heal 15% less health for every Elliot after the first one. Elliot has 80 max HP, 12 regular and 26 sprinting speed, 100 max stamina, 10 stamina loss per second, and 20 stamina gain. Overall, Elliot's like an 8.5 out of 10. Shedletsky is another one of the free starting characters. He's a Sentinel class survivor and a great self-sustaining character. He's by far the best choice for beginners. His first ability is called Slash. Slash deals 30 damage in 3 second stun time if hit, but it also has a 40-second cooldown. You're slowed down and given resistance while you're slashing, which makes it really hard to hit a slash. His last ability is Fried Chicken, with a 70-second cooldown and healing 40 damage over 5 seconds. Overall, Shedletsky is like 7.6 out of 10. Guest is another Sentinel class, and he's also cost 500. Now I'll go over his abilities. Block gives you resistance 4 for 1 second, and if you are hit during that 1 second time frame, you get a charge of punch. Charge. When you use charge, Guest charges for 1 second. If he hits the charge, he gives the killer knockback, and he also gives them helpless for 1 second. His last ability is Punch. Punch stuns the killer for 2 seconds after a short windup. But if you punch the killer before 1 second after a block, you can get a parry, which stuns them for 3.5 seconds and has a shorter windup. He also has 115 max health. I also think I'll stop going over stamina and speed for survivors because, it's all the same. Since I think Guest has a really hard to learn playset, I think I'm just gonna give him like a 6 out of 10. 2-Time is a Sentinel / survivalist survivor, and he cost 500. 2-Time has 3 abilities, the first of which is Dagger. If 2-Time hits the killer with his dagger, he regenerates 10 health, doesn't stun the killer, but he also is able to get one of the 4 points that he needs to revive. But if the dagger hits them from behind, he gets 20 health, he gets 2 out of the 4 points that he needs to revive, and he also does stun the killer. His second ability is Crouch. Crouch gives him undetectable and invisibility. And also if he uses dagger while crouching, he lunges instead of just stabbing. His last ability, Ritual, is where he chooses his spawn point. You find where you want to respawn whenever you're able to, then you just use the Ritual ability. And he also has 80 max health. 8.4 out of 10. Builderman is a support type survivor with 2 very good abilities. The first one being Sentry. Sentry has a 32.5 stud range and shoots the killer, inflicting slowness 2 for 3 seconds. It also deals 1 damage per half second. It doesn't shoot minions. Each Builderman can only place 1 sentry, and for each sentry in the game, the range of each sentry is collectively decreased by 16.5, not including the first one. His last ability is Dispenser. Dispenser heals 1 HP per second and has an extremely small heal radius. It has 20 health. Builderman has 90 health and costs 500 to buy. Gonna have to give him an 8.5 out of 10. 007 and 7 has 3 abilities, the first of which being Clone. Using Clone gives you invisibility 3 for 5 seconds and undetectable 1 for 5 seconds. It also sends out a clone that just runs around for 15 seconds. Next up is Cool GUI, which has an 8-second charge up to teleport you to the furthest spawn on the map away from you. The last one is Inject, which gives you the ability to choose how your clones move. I'm sorry, but I kind of want clout and subscribers, so you kind of have to subscribe now. I'm making you. Anyways, back to the video. Dusakar is a support with 2 unique abilities, and he's also got 90 health. His first ability is called Spawn Protection. When using Spawn Protection on a teammate, it nullifies 80% of all the damage that they take, and you're also slowed down while you're using it. His last ability is Plasma Beam. If you hit a survivor with it, it gives them speed 1, and a killer gives them slowness 2. Also, they don't have footstep sounds. 6.4 out of 10. Taft's first ability is called Tripwire. You can see me setting up the tripwire right here. If the killer steps on it, then it gives them slowness 2 for 3 seconds, and it makes them visible to all players for 5 seconds. But they can hit it to get rid of it. The second ability is Subspace Trip Mine. Here's an example of using Subspace Trip Mine. If a killer walks near your Subspace Trip Mine, then it explodes, inflicting Subspace 3 and slowness 2. But if you're near it while it explodes, then the same exact thing applies to you. 7.6 out of 10. Whoa, Funny Gamble Man. He has a lot of abilities that I don't really feel like going over right now, so I guess if this video gets 5 likes, I'll make an entire separate video for Chance.
pimp, tralalero.